Alright guys, Black Rose is here. I am going to try a video playthrough on a different series. I'm going to sound really old, but I am a big fan of Sly Cooper. I have the original trilogy on the PlayStation 2, but what I'm playing with you guys now is the remastered version for the PlayStation 3. I still have all the games, so that's pretty cool. And I thought it would be kind of fun to share with you what I know about the game. This is Sly Cooper 1. And in this game, you're mostly playing as Sly, who is the thief of the gang. And then you also have Bentley the Turtle, who is the brains of the Cooper gang. And then you also have Murray the Hippo, who is the driver as well as the muscle of the team. Later on in the game, at different stages, there will be challenges that we have to face where we have to win a race with different bosses to get a treasure key to get to our main level boss, and that requires Murray, but for the most part it's just Sly.
Sly! Come in! Sly! Do you read me?
Yeah, I read you. Loud and very loud.
Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Trying to break into police headquarters does that.
Get over it, Bentley. You're safe in the van. I'm the thief here. I've got to steal that file from Inspector Carmelita Fox.
Well, count on me to be your eyes and ears, buddy. Got their security system totally scoped. To get inside, you're gonna have to go through that air vent.
All right, I'm going in.
And don't forget you got me at the wheel, Sly. All you gotta do is grab the file and get back to the van. We'll do the rest.
Just keep that engine running, Murray. I'll be down in no time.
Alright. So Carmelita is a inspector that has been chasing Sly for, I'm not really sure how many years at this point. Sly has a massive crush on Carmelita, and he pretty much will do anything for her. She kind of has feelings for Sly, but she is either afraid to show it at this point, or she just doesn't want to feed into Sly's ego on that too much. There are various breakables on the roof, and you can kill the rats. There is a point to getting them. The more coins you collect, the better for you. Sorry guys, my sinuses are draining. When you get 100 coins, you get a lucky horseshoe, which is like a shield, so to speak, for Sly. So when you accidentally get in the water or fall from a really tall height, or you trip the alarm sensors and they go from calm yellow to I'm gonna set your tail on fire red, you have that extra protection without losing a life. As the series goes on, Sly and Carmelita do realize that, you know, they are falling for each other, and she starts kind of becoming
Master Raccoon thieves are able to sense thieving opportunities,
helper,
which manifest themselves
so to
as
speak, along the way.
unexplainable blue auras. According to my research, all you have to do is get near them and hold down the circle button and you should perform a super sneaky Master Thief move.
Hold down the circle button near blue auras. I'm on it.
Sorry for talking through that a little bit. Basically what Bentley said is wherever these blue little stars are, you just press the circle button and Sly will do some sort of move to get closer to the edge so he can walk across it without falling. Anyway, yeah, as the series goes on, Carmelita and Sly do get close, but then Sly screws up because he gets bored later, and yeah, their relationship is very complicated.
You'll set off the alarms. Not to mention you'll be fried to a crisp.
So Bentley's half right. As long as you angle Sly right, as you're slowly making your way down, you're fine. The only time you'll be fried to a crisp is if you trip the sensor on these yellow beams. They'll then set off that little alarm down there, and then they'll turn around and then you'll actually set your tail on fire. But once you take out the alarm or the horn, the lights go away, or the lasers go away.
Fox's office is behind the red door.
We have to break into her office to get our beginning file to help us find the first location that leads us to starting to recollect the Thievius Raccoonus, which is Sly's kind of family birthright, which he loves that not only did he inherit the book, but he actually got a chance to actually earn the right to have it. But she'll say that, and it's like, hey, not only am I a descendant of all these master thieves,
Fox stashes all her important files.
but I got to earn the right to have the book.
And discovered this vault's combo. Try dialing in 937.
Nice job! You got it! If you come down through the fire escape and head through the parking lot, we'll be waiting in the getaway van.
Anyway, at this point, you're pretty much done with this section. As you can see, she's been trying to figure out how to catch Sly for a while. But once you get out here, we're going to have a little rendezvous with Carmelita Fox. All throughout the game, we're going to run into her in the most weird places. Yeah, it's just kind of weird how often we run into her. There she is. For some reason, right there is kind of like a weird glitch in the game.
I haven't seen you since I gave you the slip in Bombay.
Which reminds me, you need to return the Firestone of India to its rightful owners.
And I was gonna give it to you as a little token of my... Hey, you know, that bazooka really brings out the color of your eyes. Very fetching.
You think? This pistol packs a paralyzing punch. You ought to try it. Might snap you out of your crime spree.
And give up our little rendezvous?
Plenty of time for that once you're safely behind bars.
Love to stick around and chat, but I just dropped by to pick up this case file. I think you've had it long enough.
Okay, so her shock pistol is literally that, a shock pistol. You do not want to get hit by this thing, because like she said, it does pack a paralyzing punch, and if it hits you, you lose a life, especially if you don't have a horseshoe to protect you, like that. good example of why you need to be careful with her. Because once she gets you, you pretty much get put back where you start. I'm not gonna dilly-dally on this like I did before, because we basically already got everything we need here. I'm just trying to get to the plan at this point. She's probably going to be on the balcony, shaking her fist, going, "You can't escape me, raccoon." She'll be quite literally eagerly waiting for us to show back up. See, there she is.
Once again, my gang and I had given Inspector Carmelita Fox the slip. I was surprised to see how well she took it. Finally, the secret police file I've been searching for all these years. With this, I could avenge my family and regain possession of our most valued treasure. It all began when I was just a kid, bouncing on my father's name. You see, I come from a long line of master thieves who kept all their secrets of sneaking and stealing in an ancient book. The Thievius Raccoonus. Anyone who read it learned to be especially sneaky, which is why we specialize in stealing from criminals. After all, there's no honor, no challenge, no fun stealing from ordinary people. You rip off a master criminal, and you know you're a master thief. Well, on the night I was supposed to inherit the book, 5 visitors came unannounced to my door. My father fought to protect us, but the gang of villains known as the Thievius overpowered and ransacked the house until they found the Thievius Raccoonus. Our family's manual of thieving greatness fell into their filthy hands. They tore the book into 5 pieces and split it up, each villain disappearing to the farthest corners of the world to commit dastardly crimes. Broken alone, I was dumped at the town orphanage. There I met 2 guys who became my lifelong buddies and trusted crew. Bentley, techno genius and strategist supreme, and Murray, part-time driver and full-time burglar. Together we pledged to track down the Fiendish 5, avenge my father, and steal back the Thievius Raccoonus. I knew I was about to face the toughest test of my life. On this mission, I would either become a master thief like my ancestors before me, or fail and allow my family name to bite the dust.
That was a nice piece of work back there at police headquarters, Sly. Come see me if you want to check out any of your old movies. I've got them all here on my computer. Use the left analog stick to move around the hideout and the X button to select things.
Thanks, Bentley. So basically what he means by movies, it's pretty much all the video clips that we see throughout the game if you ever want to check them back out. Like in case you walk away during a cutscene and you think you might have missed information, it will be on the computer.
I've already plotted a route to our first target.
Thank you, Bentley. Bentley's gonna probably talk a few times here and there. So he's gonna say we already have our first destination, which is here. As you go through, each location is gonna have a set number of vaults that you need to collect in order to complete the section. I would highly recommend as you go through, make sure you complete each and every section to the fullest you can. That way when we get to our final boss, you literally only have to go back for 1 save to complete the game and complete the book. Because for whatever reason, every time I played this game, you cannot complete the game 100% without beating the last boss of the Thievius 5. So, with that said, let's get started.
I've already plotted a route.
The road trip gave me the time I needed to study up on Sir Raleigh the Frog. As a young man, this hot-tempered frog grew bored of his life of luxury and privilege. On a whim, he tried his hand at a bit of piracy and found it to his liking. Raleigh, who quickly became addicted to crime, was brought into the fiendish find as chief machinist, where his evil tyranny genius rose to new heights. The last reported sighting of this mad machinist was off the southern coast of the Isle of Rat, a small island uncomfortably situated in the middle of a perilous Welsh triangle.
So, unlike back at the police headquarters where Bentley had time to kind of study up ahead of time to figure out what the code is, going forward you're going to be finding blue bottles everywhere, and every area has a certain amount you have to find in order to fully unlock the vault. Finding them is not easy, but it's not hard. But I do remember where all of them are, more or less. But I digress. Let's keep going.
Hey, Sly, I just spotted something that's going to complicate the mission. See that nasty-looking gate? It blocks the only road leading into Raleigh's hideout.
No problem. I'll just use my climb route.
Okay, but remember, you can only climb on certain objects, like pipes and ropes.
Yeah, sure. Like that ladder there?
That is correct. But do not forget, Sly, you have to get close.
Then hit the circle button to grab it. Yeah. Relax, Bentley. I live for this stuff.
Yeah, and that's what worries me.
Okay, so as you can see here, let me pull up my binoculars. These little bouncing green bottles are our clues. And if memory serves, we need 30 of them. And they're going to be everywhere. Oh, there's 20. I was kind of off.
Appears to be some sort of clue. I'll decipher it here in the van. In the meantime, see if you can find any more clues. The more I have, the easier it'll be to crack the code.
Come on, big guy. There you go. So with each level, there's going to be like guards that kind of help protect, or rather be a pain in your butt around certain areas of the challenge. And each one has its own abilities, which is also super annoying. And as you saw, I got to 100 and now I have a lucky horseshoe on my back. Okay, let's go take care of Mr. Light Throwing Stars. Alright. So we with going up the ladder and jumping down here, we would have gotten into this area and just had to time it between the guy who threw stars and the reaching the horn. Excuse me. Sorry guys, I choked there for a minute. But if you went that way, if you had gone by the light to get here, you would have missed getting the clues over here. And it would have caused you to need to backtrack because you can't get back up there from down here. Sorry. So this holographic Sly Cooper head is a save point, so if you get knocked out or game over or whatever, it'll, depending on where your latest one was, it'll bring you back to that point.
You know, that blimp looks more like a machine than a hideout.
That is a storm machine. It's the reason why it never stops raining around here.
That explains all the wrecked ships.
But why would Raleigh want bad weather at his own hideout 24/7?
Beats me. But rain or shine, I'm gonna steal my family's book back. And if Raleigh gets in my way, it's on.
Now, these are kind of the same with the rads. If you want to take them out, you can. You don't have to. They are kind of a pain. Here's this guy. Pretty much every guard for every boss fight is annoying because they're one way. And in a way, they do. For those who aren't familiar with the Sly Cooper series, they do get more and more challenging as you go, but I've played this game
Nice job so far, Sly.
so many times that I pretty much
grab onto this hook using your cane.
can
Just jump and hit the circle button.
Got it. Hit the circle button to grab onto hooks.
I've played this game so many times that I can almost always get past them without getting hurt. I still slip up from time to time and get hurt by them, but for the most part I got them. Come on. There you go. The big thing that usually trips me up is just remembering that after this mission I actually have secret moves that can actually help me with beating some of the guards going forward and the next bosses. So as you can see, there's going to be clues there and there and there, but we'll worry about the clues on our backtrack right now. Our goal is to knock out our star thrower and security guard, so that way we can just take our time collecting clues.
That large vault has got to be somehow related to those clues and bottles you've been collecting. If you can locate all the clues in this area, I should be able to crack the code and get you inside it. You found it, Sly. That's the final clue to crack the code. Now find out both, and I'll give you the instructions to open it.
sure to remember to use it? Yes. Will I succeed? Probably not. And with that, we have our first treasure key. So for Raleigh, there's going to be 7 treasure keys. And I believe every single boss, except maybe the last one, has 7 treasure keys. I know Raleigh does. I'm pretty sure Mugshot does, who is our next boss. I'm pretty sure Ms. Ruby, who is our 3rd boss, does. But I am not 100% sure after her. I think it's an ongoing challenge or theme in the game where you need 7 keys. But each section is going to have a different number to get to, so Bentley's going to be nice and have these holographic markers
That blimp looks like the most secure
in
location
place
on
to
this boat.
help us find
If
the
Raleigh's really
keys
as
we
smart
need
as
to
his
get
police file
to
suggests,
the
then that's where I'll find him.
hideout.
Wonderful idea, but your plan is flawed.
Why?
Because it's impossible to get near him. To access Raleigh's blimp, you would have to sneak through that high voltage power tube. To do that without getting electrocuted, you'd have to destroy that power generator. And to do that, you need 2 more of Raleigh's treasure keys, which are heavily guarded.
Interesting. So when are you gonna get to the impossible part?
Fine. But I warned you. I marked the areas you need to hit with holographic markers. Follow them to your objectives.
Thanks.
Don't mention it. It's your funeral.
Anyway, so like I was saying, you're gonna need all 7 of the treasure keys here to get to the store machine. Now you can just collect the other 2 you need to at least
Wow,
get.
you found a lucky charm. That'll protect you when you take any damage.
Yeah, or fall in water. Anyway, you can get the other 2 you need just to unlock the cage, so to speak, from the generator.
I see, chaps. My heartiest congratulations to you all. The Star Machine has sunk its 50th ship last night, and the loot has already been unloaded. Our operation is moving along splendidly, with the possible exception being the craft's negligent display below decks. I demand the boilers stay at full pressure at all times. If you lazy, lowbrow, technically incompetent pack of guttersnipes did your jobs right, we'd have some other ships by now. But of course, stealing boats is a fine achievement. Carry on, my boys, carry on.
And that was Sir Raleigh. Anyway, at this point you can choose to get just the 2 you need to get access to the tunnel, but like I said, you're going to need all 7 keys anyway just to get to the store machine, and there is 4 keys in this area that we need to get, so I would highly recommend you follow my lead and just get all the keys in this area, then go through the tunnel to get the last 2. That way you can just get the last 2 and be done. There are a total of 5 more vaults in
Better
this
close
section.
those furnace doors. Jumping
when we defeat Raleigh to complete the find the missing pages of the Thievius Raccoonus challenge
My analysis
for Raleigh's
tells me
hideout.
if you trace the spinning crankshaft all the way back to its source, you'll find Raleigh's treasure key and sabotage his machine while you're at it.
Anyway, as I was saying, that's why it's good to have the lucky horseshoes, because I do mess up. If you don't get all
Remember,
the
Spike,
clues,
hold down the circle button near the blue stealth auras to perform super sneaky thief moves.
if you can't find all the clues by following what I do and where I go, at some point we do, I think it's the one where we're actually inside the manor, you get the ability to get a layout of Raleigh's hideout to where Bentley can wire into your binoculars that you can bring up with the RB button to find the clues you miss. Whoops. But if you follow what I do, you shouldn't need to come back. Okay, so this one's gonna get tricky. So you want to bounce off of the vent covers to lower these guys, but you want to use them to get the dangling clues. To fall down below where you can get them. And now, because I lost a life, I have to go all the way back to the beginning and backtrack, so I apologize about that. Okay. And I don't know why, but I think for whatever reason, this is the only game, if I remember correctly, where Slide actually has like a mustache and goatee thing going on. Because I don't remember it in the other games. But I could be wrong. It's been a while. Okay, let's try this again. Go that way. And look, here's a life. Yay! Now we got 5 lives again. If you manage to break a clue or two from above, that's fine. I just hop on the furnace doors to at least get the ones dangling in the middle, because if you miss those, they are close to impossible to get without having to come back through. Okay. Really need to be careful with these things. And you also get a power up from one of our ancestors where you can automatically get I hesitate to use the dive move when we're kind of on open range with the guards, just because if I ankle it wrong, I will go for a swim and slide, kind of like Altair, for whatever reason, cannot swim. And for those who don't know, Altair, he is the assassin in Assassin's Creed 1 that can't swim. Just so annoying. Because just like in Assassin's Creed 1, they put clues and stuff that you need to collect for the progression of the game to get the Thievius Raccoonus completed on or near water. Haha, gotcha. Now this one's going to be a little tricky. It's going to be the same concept. You want to bounce on the furthest doors, but you have to be mindful of where the lasers are. If you time it right, you should be fine. Oof, there we go. Okay, I don't think I left anything. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't see anybody still bouncing, so we should be good. If you use the dive here, kind of like I did, be very careful, because if you misjudge the spin, whoops, you'll end up in the lava, which like what I did, you end up just falling because you don't have a horseshoe. And because I didn't make it to the save point, I got all the way back here, so we just got a little bit of backtracking to do. Sorry guys. Bad timing. working. We didn't lose a loop behind where I kept falling. It's a loop right there. Our last clue is always right up here.
Press the circle to enter the vault code. I can't believe I pieced this one together. Try 227.
So for this, I didn't really explain this on the last call. You can either use the arrow keys or the left analog stick to do the numbers. The left analog stick will like change like the position size in. If you go up, it'll dial it down, and vice versa. Up will make it go 0, 1, 2. If you go down, it goes 9, 8, 7.
Interesting. Old Sally Cooper's fast getaway raccoon roll. Stories claim she can move faster rolling than anyone else could on the run. Hold down the triangle button to use this move. Switch between your power-ups using L2 and R2.
And that little Cooper Clan mask is his calling card, so he leaves it pretty much everywhere. Once you close these furnace doors, you kind of need to move fast and not set yourself on fire like I did, because they don't stay shut for long. And that makes 2. So there is a kind of like a time challenge for every level with every boss, but I have never figured out how to do it. Even with all my times of playing the game, I still can't quite figure it out. And Random's trying to do her workout, and the dog is worried that she's hurt, which makes it interesting.
Jackpot slide! Look at all this stuff! Must be worth millions! And you know what that means? Tighter security. You're gonna have to be extra sneaky to get the treasure key here.
Heard this be really fast on your feet. The slide is good at both.
Couch. Go to the couch. Couch. Go.
Take that out of the rock. lasers coming from the skull eye, those are motion sensors, so they're gonna follow us everywhere we go. So for this, instead of destroying as we go, our goal is to get to the alarm, hopefully before it catches us. So here we go. And try not to get too close to the fence, guys, because Sly's tail will set off the alarm. I actually made it without setting off the alarm. That's actually pretty rare for me to do. Because usually I set it off with his tail, which I never could figure out how that was a possibility or whatever. Now the white safes that we find are like food bottle holders. They usually hold, I believe it's 2 clues per container. And it took me a while to figure out how to master getting the 5 clues that were up there. Thank you. There we go. The belly poppers are probably the easiest guard that Raleigh has to kind of predict how to avoid it. The one that gets me the most is unfortunately the one with the giant hammer. Now on this one, it's really tricky to get past this one without setting off the alarm. It's very rare for me to actually do this part and not set it off. Told you. There we go. If you set it off around the same time I do, it's not a big deal because as long as you set it off closer to the alarm, once you get to where the alarm is, you can automatically just turn the laser off. And yes, I did leave the quiz behind again, but there's going to be many situations in every boss level where it's just easier to collect, or easier to knock out the security system and go collect the clues. As well as situations where you can just easily get the clues as you go. So it's just kind of, the challenge is just to time it to where either situation can work in your favor. If you don't feel like you can collect the clues safely without accidentally killing Sly along the way, err on the side of caution and just take care of the security system and then go get your clues, because there's really no time limit to get to the hole.
Whoever thought this code up knew what they were doing. Dial in 436.
4, 3.
These are the blueprints of Raleigh's entire operation. I wonder... Yes! I can wire this info directly into your binocucom. It'll show you the position of nearby clues and breakable objects.
Turns out I was actually right about where to get the readout for the area to help you going forward. Now, I rarely use it, but there is a couple areas still in Raleigh's hideout where I sometimes need that help. But for the most part, I got it. So there are going to be challenges for both Sly and Murray, where literally all that's at stake is a treasure key. Murray, it's always a race. Sly, it depends on the boss. Like for Raleigh here, we have to go against giant crabs to collect 40 treasure chests without them getting one into one of their tunnels, which we'll get to that once we get the rest of our keys. I can't remember what mugshots is for Sly, or if Sly even has one in his area.
Sly, see that machine wheel? If my knowledge of mechanical engineering serves me right, applying significant rotational torque to achieve maximum velocity will yield a positive result.
You mean something good might happen if I get the wheel to spin fast enough?
Isn't that what I just said?
Yes, but no, Bentley. Luckily, Sly understands most of what he's saying to where you can actually, he'll actually help you. Whoops, I didn't know I needed to get up there. Timing that is kind of tricky. Sly understands Bentley well enough to kind of dull down his scientific mumbo jumbo. Because if it wasn't for Sly, I probably wouldn't understand half of what Bentley says. roll to dive. Come on. Got it. Okay. Now for this part, you want to make sure you top off the hook before it comes to a stop, just because if you're not careful, it will stall with you still on it over the lava, and that would not be good. Just because you want to be able to get to this point to not set yourself on fire. Yeah, I set myself on fire again anyway. That's lovely. Sorry guys. There we go. Anyway, you want to get to this point so you can get up here. Now, there's two directions you can go. You can go that way or this way. It really doesn't matter because they both lead to that furnace. Or that fire show in there. I always go for the clue side first, just so I can get the clues out of the way. And then, whoops. Don't pull me. And then once I get the clues, it'll be easier to get the coin section. And you do need to get up to this part over here in order to get the one big link clue that's over here. But now that that's all we're after, we'll just head over here. There we go. 14. If anything, this should show you that even when you have pretty much mastered the game through hours and hours of playing it, you can still mess up. Getting these guys is always fun. 16. can either backtrack like I'm doing, or if you really don't care, you can always wait for the level and then go back and just quite literally grab the vault and call it good. I find it easier to just backtrack. Because then you don't have to worry about having to go all the way through to the end to try to get out of here.
I'm unbeatable! No code can stand before me! It's got to be 579! Outstanding! Another page from the Thievius Raccoonus! This one features Dev Gooberenda's slow motion jumps. He used this to get by all kinds of airborne threats. Hit the triangle button while in the air to slow down time.
Yeah. That's all slow does, is just literally slow you down. Actually, nothing too special to the slow code power. And all the times I've played the game, it's never come in handy. Only one that seems to is the dive until we get the power up for it, where it's more like a fast breaking, fast collecting move. Which is not a bad additional power up to it, but it does make it a little bit of a pain just to use it, because I like the attacking part of it. It's either that or I'm just not using it right. Which is highly possible. Okay, that should be 4.
Nice line. You can adjust the game camera using the right analog stick. And to bring the camera behind you, click it.
Those rats got pegged.
Raleigh appears to have booby-trapped this entire place.
I'm gonna enjoy this.
Don't you get it, Sly? If you step on that rug, forget about becoming a master thief. You'll be a master darting board.
Wait a second. What if I jumped into that barrel for protection?
I don't know. It looks pretty risky and very unsanitary.
Only one way to find out.
Now, while they're talking, you can actually have Sly and Bentley's facial positions change. If you want, you don't have to. you're fighting the guards, obviously you have to be out of the barrel. But be careful when you're taking out the
So far,
darts.
so good. I bet
Because
if you stayed still inside the barrel, the guard won't be able to see you, even if he shines his flashlight on you.
Anyway, what I was saying is you want to make sure you're cautious when you're taking out the dark things, just because if you accidentally end up on the rug while there's still at least one still active, it will get you. So you have to keep that in mind as you're going. I only know because I fallen for that a few times myself, so I have to say, kind of do as I say, not as I do for that, which is also easier said than done. Got it. So there's gonna be like little lucky charms here and there throughout the game that you can pick up for without having to collect 100 coins, but once you collect your 100 coins, if you don't have a gold horseshoe on your back, which is the max number of lucky horseshoes you can carry, which is usually 2. Well, it's not usually, it's always 2. Once you're carrying the max number, the sort of freebie horseshoe will disappear until until something happens to where you end up using one and you need a new one, then they'll reappear back where they were originally before you lost your horseshoe, or before you lost the free horseshoe. Like the horseshoe that I was bouncing over there on top of that bookshelf. If I mess up and I end up using one of the horseshoes on my back to save Sly's life, it'll reappear and start bouncing and making all sorts of noise, saying, "Hey, I'm back. You can come and get me now if you want." There's a little bit of backtracking to some of this if you mess up in this area, so I'm taking out the darts as I go, just so it's a little less annoying later if you have to backtrack to get them taken care of now. Because if you mess up while you're bouncing around trying to get those 3 clues up there, and you fall down below, and the darts are still there, and you leave your barrel up here, yeah, it's a pain in the butt. Guard. Okay, on those. Stay in the barrel. So the super cool thing is if you have 2 horseshoes on your back and you still get to 100 coins, those coins don't keep collecting for no reason. Once you reach 100 for the 3rd round, or however many rounds, you can actually manage to keep 2 horseshoes on your back no matter what. Once you reach 100, you actually gain a life for Sly, so that'll come in handy for our more complicated bosses. I seem to use the most lives with, I hate to say it, is Ms. Ruby. She's annoying. Actually, no, no. Yeah, the one I use the most lives with is Ms. Ruby, just because you have to do her version of Simon Says, which is a pain in the butt, because if your timing is wrong, if you don't have horseshoes, it will eat at your lives pretty quick. Oops. I almost proved exactly why you want to get rid of those darkies. Yeah, it's a weird voodoo, Simon Says, and if you're not fast enough,
Enter the vault code.
it's like it's her.
With the help of a straight edge and compass, the answer was simple. Dial in 242.
There.
Interesting. Chris Cooper's dive collection technique. This move is an extension of the dive move you already know. Just jump and hit the triangle button near breakable objects for some fast braking, fast collecting action.
Here we go. But luckily, if you're in this area and you are coordinated enough, you should be able to do very little backtracking to get back to the key. But if you mess up and you end up down below, as long as you take out all the darts, you should be fine to get back to this point. But keep in mind, guys, if you're kind of following me as I go through this game, keep in mind that you will not be able to save your game mid process of taking out a boss, because I forgot that in order to save the game you have to
All my
be
calculations led me to
not
believe you had failed to knock out that generator.
If it was good at math.
Well,
in
here's
the
a
middle
real
of
test
a
for you.
boss
I
fight,
found
so
a
to
way
speak.
up to Raleigh's hideout, but unfortunately, it is doomed to failure.
You're not gonna tell me I have to shoot myself out of that cannon.
I'm afraid that's the only way.
Now you're talking.
You're really scaring me, man. Anyway, to get inside that thing, you have to steal all 7 of Raleigh's treasure keys.
So what are we waiting for? You show me those hollow what's-its?
You mean my holographic markers?
Yeah. And I'll swipe whatever it takes to get shot out of that cannon and steal back my family's Thievius Raccoonus.
So Sly kinda says he's gonna steal back the Thievius Raccoonus. He means a section of the book. He's not getting the whole book here. It's like, yeah, they should have phrased that better when they did the game, just because it's like, it makes it seem like he's gonna get the whole book right now after we beat Raleigh, and it's like, no, we're just getting a small section from Raleigh. And yes, it's an important section because we learn a really cool move. We end up needing to take down Mugshot. You know what? Since I'm up here, let's go for this one first. It really doesn't matter what order you get these guys done in. But like I said, since I'm already up here, let's get this one. Alright, time to go to the graveyard. Anyway, like I said, So I was only getting a small portion.
Ahoy, doctors! Capital shall unload that cargo, master. You're the crown jewel of my operation. You need a service of proving your worth yet again by protecting the treasure key that I have stored down there. It appears there's a prowler on the premises. If you'll let him get his hands on that key, I will personally rob the lot of you for an entire fortnight.
Yeah, how he knows it's a guy, I don't know. I guess reports, or I think somehow he sees us as we're going through the levels, but it's like that's kind of one thing I've always wondered with Rolly is how the heck he knew that it was a guy. But it's neither here nor there. Make sure you grab all 4 of the keys that, or not the keys, the clues that are on the first ship, because I forgot about them being 4 and not just 2 in the blue vault. And I had to backtrack all the way back to the beginning of the level just to get the last 2 clues to unlock the safe that, or the vault that's over there by the key. Because we literally need to collect all the clues, and then as we're climbing up to get to the key, the vault is like halfway up, or somewhat halfway up. It's not really halfway up. It's like you go up and there's 2 masts, so to speak, that are at the end of the level. The first one is going to be the blue vault. The second is going to be the cave. Now, to take these cards out, to take that one out, you can either go down that rope and face them head on. I find it easier to kind of do a drop kill on him. If you catch the squid guys off guard by attacking them from behind or above, they're a lot easier to take down, because if they have a chance to register you're coming, they can get pretty nasty. Mr. Body Slam over there, it's a lot easier to wait for him again, so I can't swim. It's a lot easier to wait for him to do a belly flop and then
Press the circle for the vault code. This one was cake. Input 719.
Noodles cake right if we need some 8 clues.
Oh, you lucky Sly. This page features Karen Cooper Giwa's coin magnet technique. All she had
We
to
needed
do
that a while
was
ago.
stand near money, and it would magically jump into her purse. From now on, you'll automatically collect any coins you come near.
Like I said, we needed that a while ago. And there's 6. Okay. So as you can see, our little Sly life is back. you obviously can't get to it by going back the way we came to get to that rooftop, so you have to kind of go the long way. You don't have to collect it every time, but considering my luck with taking down Rowley is not the best. The more lives I have going forward for that battle, the better I'm gonna feel. Come on. Well, like I said, you don't have to collect any of the lives, extra lives, but when it comes to taking on the bosses, I do highly recommend collecting as many lives as you can, just because each one is different and more challenging. Raleigh's probably the easiest one, but it's still kind of tricky.
Stashes his sunken treasure. Use your sub to blast him. The left analog stick controls the sub. Give it a try. Great. Use the right analog stick to fire his gun. That's it. Remember, you can always drive the sub in one direction while firing in another. To earn a treasure key, you'll need to collect all 40 chests. Do not let a crab take one into a tube.
Now, if a crab gets a chest and you manage to knock them out before they get them into their little hiding hole, it does count towards it, because it's going to get more and more crazy. Because as you get closer to 40, it's like they increase the crabs that come and get the treasure chest just to try to stop you. So you just gotta be quick as you can. Try to stay on top of what crab you can. They kind of make a weird, kind of like a bouncing noise when they have a chest. So kind of keep an eye out for that, or ear out for that noise, because that means somebody's got one and they're heading for a tunnel.
Better
Darn
luck
it.
next time.
That one got me.
Better luck next time.
Okay, come here, crabs. Yeah, unfortunately, this one takes me a few tries. I know what I need to do, but it's not easy. I can't tell you how many times I played this level. But hey, it's good for you guys to see how complicated this can get. If you can get it in one swing where I can't, kudos to you. go. Finally. Sheesh. Okay. Once you finally get the key, and it doesn't matter how many times it takes, but definitely make sure you get the key, because you can't continue to the Raleigh boss battle without the key. Just because I believe I ate up at least one, if not 2 lives. Probably not. It didn't really count as a loss of life, just lost a challenge, but I'm gonna grab my 2 lives again from over there and up here, just so that way I have a little bit of a redo stash for the boss fight. If you want more than 10 lives, you can go back to the previous section and get the 1 life that's over there and grab the horseshoe, but that's totally up to you. Or actually, there's 2 lives over there, not just 1. It should be good.
How delightful! We have a guest. The only thing is, I hate unexpected guests!
Listen, Raleigh, wipe up my family and steal what's mine, you better expect company.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry. How sloppy of me not to finish the job. Obviously, we should have snuffed you out well. So, without further ado, let me make amends by floating to gargantuan size and squashing you like the insignificant bug that you are.
Bring it on.
Okay, so for Raleigh, it gets more and more complicated, but he needs to bounce like 5 times. So try not to get too ahead of him, like I just did, because once he shrinks down, that's your chance to 3, 4, knock him out. While he's bouncing, it literally takes 4 or 5 bounces for him to shrink back down. So in the meantime, it's just watch where he's going and just try to avoid it as much as you can. At this stage, the platforms will automatically sink and be a pain. This is where you have to play dodge the tongue or jump over the tongue, otherwise he'll knock you out.
Blast it all! You've beaten me. Well, gloat all you want, Sly Cooper. You're no match for Mugshot, my villainous cohort in Utah. You will see. Mesa City is so well guarded, a snake couldn't slither in without setting off alarms.
Raleigh's section of the Thievius Raccoonus held detailed instructions on how to perform my ancestor Ryoichi Cooper's ninja spire jump. A technique he developed while sneaking into the thickly fortified castles of Japan. Finding a way off Raleigh's boat got a little tricky with the untimely arrival of Inspector Fox, who, failing to find me, busted Raleigh and his crew. With the storm machine out of commission, boats found their way back onto the ocean, and the mystery of the Welsh Triangle faded from memory. My gang and I loafed around England for a while, enjoying the pleasant weather, and then headed back home, excited for our next heist.
I took the liberty of pinning your mission map up on the wall. You can use it to warp directly to any levels you've already visited.
So, this is we're back in our hideout. So whenever we complete a section, it'll have a collection of various items we've dealt with or seen in that area. Now, if you didn't get all the vaults, it will show you how many you're missing. And I would highly recommend, if you didn't get them all by following what I do, definitely go back and get them, just because at the end of the game there's always going to be one you will miss, and the more you grab now, the less annoying it is to have to backtrack to fully complete the game.
We're all set to go to Mesa City.
This is where we got to deal with Mugshot. Murray is always in the hideout no matter what. He's just doing different things at different points. Before, when we were getting ready to do Raleigh, he was sitting over here eating a snack of some kind. You can press X on Murray and he'll either say something or do something silly like that. This is the third boss location. So Murray's always going to be standing in front of where we go
We're all
next.
set to go to Mesa City.
So while you're in your gang hideout, this is where you would go to save the game. I would highly recommend there we go. You always want to take advantage of being in this Cooper hangout to save your game, because, like I said, back during Raleigh's, once you start in, you won't be able to save until you get back to your hideout, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. But we did cover a lot of ground, and I really don't want to get started on Mugshot because it's going to take a lot longer to get him fully completed, and I do have work in the morning, so I'm just going to call it here, guys. So thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next time when I will be taking on Mesa City and the infamous Mugshot. And I will try to at least get him done, and depending on what's going on work-wise, I may try to do Miss Ruby on top of him, but each section is huge and there's a lot to cover and do. So, anyway, I digress. Have a good night, everybody, and I will see you on the next round. Bye!